Football Chat with Dons, episode 11. Yeah, man, today we're going to do something a little bit different because for those of you that got me on Instagram, I kind of put the questions out there to kind of see what it is that you think I should talk about with what's going on in the football world. So, yeah, big up to everyone that got involved. I got quite a few suggestions. So, I'm going to try and get through as many of those as I can now, and then maybe do the rest in another video, or I'll ask you guys again what do you think. So yeah, sort of let's waste no time, let's just get straight into it. And I've been asked, what do I believe are the best up and coming English players? Now, all right, I could name the bait ones. What's the bait ones? So your Sancho, Sterling, Rashford. Let's say they're your bait up and coming ones. But if we're to go younger, like I think Trent Alexander-Arnold doesn't get nowhere near enough credit, because that kid is just incredible for me. I think, what is he now? Is he 21? Maybe 22? But I think he's incredible. Like, and I think if he wasn't English, like we'd be loving him in England. Yeah, I just think he can go right to the very, very top, and by that I mean potential Ballon d'Or winner potential. It'd be interesting to see his career, and if he does stay at Liverpool, I think it would be good to see him, at another big European club. I think he could handle that and he would thrive. So yeah, I mean, he's still young. He could still stay at Liverpool for another four years and then move on, because obviously the project at Liverpool is pretty good. So yeah, Alexander-Arnold, say he's like he's unheard, but I think he is one of the best young English players we have to talk about. Second one, I would say, who else do I want to talk about? Foden. Phil Foden, Manchester City, he's special as well. I mean, I think we just need to see him play more, but I think if you notice the games that he does play in, he scores, and he's like, I like his mental attitude, in the fact that him scoring isn't down to luck. Like, you generally tell when he comes into the team, it's like he knows he has to have some impact just for him to even break in the team. So it's like, for the first game of the season, what does he do? He scores. And yeah, even like last year, it's just the games he starts, whether it's a cup game, whether it's FA Cup, or he's coming off the bench, or say he's playing in a Champions League game, he affects the game. And yeah, his ability to strike from distance, he can dribble past players, he glides nicely past them, he's left-footed, so things always just look a bit better. So yeah, Phil Foden would be definitely another one of the top qualities. Personally, I need to see Jude Bellingham play more, because I can't say I've really seen him play, but I mean, numbers wise, he looks to be doing all the good things. His numbers were good at, dare I say it, Blues last year, and I mean, scored on his debut for Dortmund, scored on his debut for the under-21s at just 17. So for me, the numbers all look good for Bellingham. So no, ultimately, I think the future does look bright for England. I was saying, I think just last week, that I think, I don't mean to be like negative, but I think what may hold England back against winning any tournaments is that I think we do have all these good young players. We've got your Harry Kane, you got Sterling, we've got all these talents in and around the squad, and the young players coming through. But is our manager going to let us down? I look at Gareth Southgate, and like, I don't see a tactical genius, if I use those words. I think you look at winning international competitions, first off, you got to have a bit of luck. Second of all, you need to have like good players, like that's just a given. And then like third, you'd say you need to have some sort of tactical nous, some sort of like philosophy, or like, do you know what I mean? You just want to look at your gaffer and see, yeah, right, cool, you know what you're doing. Ah, swear down, you're coming with these tactics, all right. Whereas, like, because you know what I mean, I've played under managers where you can just tell they ain't really got a clue what they're doing. Like, they're just picking teams and just shouting. But, like, what else are you giving me? And yeah, it's like, yeah, Southgate, he just seems so, like, I don't know, is stubborn the right word? He's just stuck in his ways. Like, it's like the goalkeeper situation. So it's like, he's sticking with Pickford. And then when you've got your man Henderson or Nick Pope there, you got the whole Grealish situation. I'm not even gonna get started in that. Then you've got Harry Kane playing up front, who's not looked sharp since like January. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think that might be what holds England back. But yeah, in terms of the future, it's promising. But I feel like I've been saying the future's promising since I was like in primary school. But anyway, next one that came in is what's going on with Dele Alli and Jose Mourinho / Tottenham. And this is an interesting one because, say, I think Spurs have played 2 league games and Dele Alli hasn't been in either of the matchday squads. I think, yes, Jose has spoken about him sort of wanting to get his squad down. As you can see, their bench has been fairly strong, and obviously, I think as he said that he's leaving 4 or 5 players at home, left them training on the weekend when they played Southampton. So is Dele Alli going to be axed? I mean, you look at the number of midfielders they've got. I think there is about seven centre mids if you include Dele Alli as one of those. And yeah, okay, what's my view on it? My view on Dele Alli is I think he's special. I think he is a talented individual. And what I like is the fact he affects games. So I think sometimes when I watch him, you will notice like the play does break up around him. Like he will lose possession of the ball, but that's because he does things. He tries to affect games. He doesn't just like get the ball and then just go back to a centre back or go out to a full back. Like the way he plays on the half turn. He's trying to affect things, which does lead to a lot of ball loss of possession. So yeah, but no, I really do think I think he can go to any top team in Europe and he would do well, without a doubt. I mean, say 2 years ago when the Real Madrid rumours were coming in, I thought that move would have suited both parties perfectly, and I even now I can still see him as a Real Madrid player if I'm being honest. Yeah, I think his numbers have dried up the last 2 years. Yeah, hasn't been as good as, say, that main breakthrough season where he scored 18 league goals. And yeah, it would be good to see him get back to that level. So from my point of view, I think the move would do him good. Maybe I think maybe his time at Tottenham is due to come to an end. I think, yeah, sort of with that whole Poch era, he was at the forefront of it, and yeah, maybe it's time to get rid. I think we've seen in the documentary All or Nothing, Jose speaking, do you know what I mean, just cussing Ali, saying you're lazy, this and that. But sometimes I was watching that and I don't think that like Jose don't like him. I think he even says it, but I've had it personally, like when managers and coaches get on to me when I play, I've almost took it like a lot of the times it's because they like you and they see something in you. So like they may be harsh or they're extra critical to you because they know what you're capable of or they know your potential. And I think Jose is the same in that sense. And yeah, managers, if the ones they don't care about, they're not gonna come out and say that shit about. Like that's just not how it works. So yeah, when Jose says he doesn't want to sell him, I believe him. But then there's probably powers above him that are thinking otherwise and looking at his numbers, and you know how Spurs work with their money, and they'll look at Dele Alli. They got him for cheap. Can they now get a cash in on him? Let's say, especially whilst they're healthy in that position, where they need strength in other areas such as striker and I'd probably say fullback. So yeah, that's my take on the Dele Alli thing. I've been asked, should English fans have a say in the ownership of clubs? So, for example, if you look in Spain and at Barcelona with their president system, in that the presidents have to be voted in by the fans. To be honest, the way that system works, I'm not like too clued up in it, if I'm being honest. But I think the whole system as like as a general idea in that. So imagine you have your presidents or say chairman as we have in England. Let's say imagine if they were voted in by the fans. So let's say each club had their own set of rules for their term. So a term may be, let's say for example, 2 years, and every 2 years you have to vote in your chairman slash president. And yeah, I don't know how it would work in terms of who's eligible to vote and etc. But as a general idea, I think I like the sound of it. I do like the sound of it, and yeah, I think how that could work good is that almost each chairman would then have to present their plans, give like a manifesto, the reasons why they should vote for them, what they plan to do, like even make man tell, I don't know, could you tell them how much money? I suppose it baits it up for everyone else, but yeah, just come with your plans, you vision for the future, short-term goals, and then fans can, you'd be more involved in your club. Yes, there'd probably be downfalls, there's probably bad things of doing this system, definitely. I mean, because I suppose you give the fans the power, fuck knows what could happen, do you know what I mean? Like say I suppose as Barca are seeing now with their president or the board, whatever in place, and yeah, you're just seeing, yeah, you obviously got Messi wanting to leave, big transfers are spent on players and they're not performing, so it's like, I even look at the Griezmann. You spend that money on Griezmann, but where was he ever going to fit in your system? Dembele, that deal hasn't worked out. You spent fucking 140 odd million on Coutinho, who's then dumped you at the Champions League. Like, there's just, like, it's not making sense. So that's just one high profile example of, I guess, how it can go wrong. But then many fans have seen their clubs being run like fucking, like, just being run awfully, and suppose this could then put a bit of, I don't know, a bit of responsibility to your fans. What do I think about? Do I think it's gonna happen? No, by no chances it's gonna happen. But yeah, it would be interesting if it did happen, and I would be open to the idea. And yeah, I think that's all I got to say on that topic, really, to be fair. Next one, I've been asked what does this one say? Who would I like to see come to the Premier League? If you'd asked me this a month ago, I would have said Messi, as I'm sure that was everyone's answer. We all want to know not if he can do it, because fucking, yeah, of course Messi can do it, but just would have been good to see Messi out of his comfort spot. Do you know what I mean? Like Ronaldo's always gone and done. So yeah, it would have been Messi. Who else do I want to see back in the Premier League? Fuck's sake, man. See, I should think about it before. Lewandowski, suppose. Yeah, would have been good to see him. It's probably not gonna happen. Actually, no. I think my answer is it's got to be Sancho. Sancho's the one I want to see, but Man United are just taking a piss with it. So yeah, they're just moving mad budget with it. So yeah, because Sancho, I think I'm a bit critical of him, because I guess I see his numbers and then I only really watch him when he plays for England, and I expect to see him sort of like doing Mazza, like doing the madness, and he's like, oh, I don't really see it, to be honest. So yeah, Sancho would be good if I got to see him week in, week out. That would be a good one. And then yeah, if I was to choose a big player, Lewandowski. In the future, some obviously not this window, but Mbappe would be a good one to see. I think he's he's a definitely future Ballon d'Or winner. And I think if someone potentially, I don't know, maybe a Liverpool or United, if they sort themselves out, can finance a deal for him, I think that would be great for the Premier League and fans of it to see. Yep. I'm done with that one. So I've been asked about staying on the Man U topic. I've been asked what's my view on the whole situation with, firstly, the Glazers, and secondly, Woodward and Judge. I'm not too sure who Judge is, if I'm being honest, but I'm guessing he's in some back staff role similar to what Woodward. And okay, so if we start on the whole Man United situation as a whole, to be fair, I think they might get top 4 this year. If I'm being honest, I suppose it's a bit hypocritical. Well, get my words out. It's a bit hypocritical of me, because on one sense, I've kind of, in previous videos, I've kind of like played down Lampard's ability to get Chelsea in the top 4, but yet I'll happily say Man United will get in the top 4, and I don't really know why. I don't know. Okay, I think, so if we're just comparing the two, I think maybe Man United have got a bit more of a settled squad than Chelsea. So I think with like the amount of transfers that Chelsea have done, I think, it's not as settled as the United. So even defensively and attacking wise, like, this Man United team's been together a bit longer. But if we just look at Man U as a whole, I just think, what do I think? Yeah, I just think they're not the Man U that I grew up to know, where you had your Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. Do you know what I mean? One of the best three-man attack that we've seen in modern day football. They're not that Man United. Like, end of the season, I do still expect them to be probably 20 odd points off City and Liverpool. And what is that down to? Yes, it's poor recruitment. I think it's poor mismanagement of management. So I think, they've been very quick to get rid of managers. I think probably they've appointed the wrong managers for what they wanted. So, for example, you bring in Jose Mourinho, and then he has a very successful period, but then you're not happy with like the way he plays football, or you're not happy with sort of the way he goes on in the media. And we all know how Jose goes on. Like, he's a madman. Like, he's gonna say what he wants in front of the cameras. He's going to make it all about him. By the way, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, because I love Jose for this. And so then it's like, I don't know what you wanted if you've got in these managers, and then you're not happy when you see something happening. If you want, like, and then you get in Ole, who's now building up his brand on counter-attacking football. Now, is that what the Man United board were looking for when they appointed Ole? God knows. Is that just the system he's employing now whilst their team's like basically dead? Excuse me, just burping. And then in terms of the Glazers, I think that's a bit of a joke, the way they take out however 100 million in profits. When the club's that much in debt, when the club's struggling. Well, I say struggling, but do you know what I mean? They're still a top 6 side, but when they're not competing for titles. But but yet you've got the shareholders taking out massive amount of money. But if you look at it from a business point of view, like, who wouldn't? Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm the Glazers and that's my business, every every 6 months when it's time for dividends, I'm there. I'm showing up. I'm there with my two long hands. I'm ready to take the money, definitely. And to be fair, like, do you know what I mean? Wouldn't you? You'd be doing the same. But yeah, so from a business point of view, you can see the sense of it. It's your business. It's your brand. You run it from a business point of view. Like, you gotta remember, they're the ones that get the shirts out to Asia, to Africa, all across the world. They get the brand there. They get the sponsorship deals. Well, when I say they, I mean they employ staff that get it done. So yeah, they're entitled to their fair wage, but from a footballing view, it's shit, innit, really. And yeah, to be fair, but if you're the Glazers, they're not leaving anytime soon, because you're not gonna sell that business unless we're talking silly money. Like, I don't know how much to say they're worth, but I think we're in the billions. If we're being real, Man United, one of the biggest brands in the world, like, period. Let's just not even say football, just in general. So yeah, I think they're there to stay. And then if we talk more closely about Woodward and Judge, I'm just gonna, like, call them, like, the recruitment system. Like, it's a bit, I think from a neutral, it's comical. It's comical in the sense of, yeah, like the Dortmund thing. I think they even came out and said the way Woodward's dealing is just, it's not right. Like, man, are just come like he's just dead in negotiating. That's how it's looking to me. Like, I don't know. I think you've got Daniel Levy, who's just known as, like, being like the man that's looking for bargains and whatnot. But I think you just got Woodward. He's just dickhead. Like, can't negotiate, can't close deals. Like, this Sancho thing. If this deal goes through, let's just say, imagine now, what's the date? Yeah, I think we've got 2 or 3 weeks. Imagine now in 2 weeks' time, Man United end up buying Sancho for, let's say, 130. Everyone's just gonna think, why would you not just buy him fucking 6 weeks, 2 months ago for the same money, and then you just got him earlier? It's just all last minute and just not run properly. And then for example, let's say they don't get Sancho, and then they go and sign a backup. I don't know who, like, I think I was seeing, like, Kingsley Coleman rumours, or God knows who else, but let's say they got a replacement in, and then it's even they're still thinking the same thing. Like, you knew the Sancho deal was dead from how long ago, but you've only waited till now to get in your winger. Now fucking you've bought him from abroad, so now he's got to take a month to settle in. We've just lost our first 2 league games, and now what? But yeah, so I just think Woodward's just a joke, man. Yeah, that's my opinion on, to answer your question, that's my opinion on Woodward and their recruit. Next one I'm gonna talk about is, so this one coming from a friend of mine who I used to play futsal with, and back at university this was, and he's asked, how do I sort of convert my futsal skills into football? So he wants to transition into playing futsal, which is 5-a-side format version of football. This is like a proper recognised sport, recognised by FIFA, and played widely across the world. Not so much in England, but it's a fast growing sport. One of the fastest growing sports at the moment. At the moment, it's coming under a bit of stick because the FA have sort of pulled their funding, and they've pulled the national teams. So the English futsal community and sort of across the world, it's getting recognition. This sort of, the England FA's sort of lack of support for futsal, and they clearly don't see the benefits that it has to achieving their main goal of winning something with the main 11-a-side game. And so yeah, futsal for me is a sport that I got involved in when I went to university. So this was back in 2014. So yeah, sort of prior to this, I was just mainly playing football. And yeah, so I got into futsal. And so yeah, just to give a brief explanation, you can say, you got your 5-a-side, you're down at goals. It's effectively a bit like that, but it's indoors, 5-a-side, heavier ball, and yeah. So to kind of answer the question in how do you take your skills. So some of the differences is, say in futsal, you got different movements. In terms of the way you control the ball, it's more with your soul. And say first of all, what I would say is when you're transitioning into football, yes, there are certain aspects of your game you're going to have to change slightly, but I would say use whatever skills you have from futsal or even any other sport that you have and take them with you into football or take them into whatever sport you play, and let that be the thing that makes you different. Let that be the thing that makes you stand out in front of other players. So for example, let's say futsal, a thing to use is that toe poke is regularly used as a shooting method. And so yeah, straight away into football, I would not be changing that. If there are chances where toe poke is usable, whether that's in a pass, in a shot, use it. Keepers will not be expecting no shots, and neither will defenders. So that's one of the first things I would say. You bring the futsal skills into football with your movements. So in futsal, you use a lot of blocks, kind of similar to basketball. Bring that into football. Like, these ballers won't have a clue what you're doing. And I think, yeah, I'll get into futsal stuff in like later videos, I think. And yeah, I'll touch on my personal footballing journey. I think all of those stuff I will come on to later. Because I'm kind of starting my late entry into semi-pro, like non-league football. So yeah, in later videos, I'll be sure to sort of talk more on my journey. Let's bring it back to the topics. And somebody's asked, how will Leeds do this season in the Premier League? And I think they'll be good to watch. Definitely. Suppose, yeah, it'd be good to watch them more on a regular basis this year. Being back in the Prem, I think they'll score a lot, concede a lot of goals. Bielsa will be entertaining, him sitting on his stool. Yeah, they're just going to be good to watch. How do I think they'll do? I think they'll be, if I was to pick a position, I'd say you probably maybe 14th. If I was to just pick one, I'd say I think they'll be bottom half. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do go on good runs and they're in the top half at some point, but then fall back. Yeah, sort of like, yeah, I don't expect them to go down, but then you never know. If they do go down, would you be surprised? Not really. I think stranger things have happened. So yeah, that's what I expect from Leeds. But likewise, when Villa goes down to play Leeds, I expect Villa to win both games. But then if you ask me who would I say would finish above, it's a weird one because I'd probably maybe say Leeds. But then, yeah, I felt like that last year because let's just, for example, Villa, I felt like both games where Villa played Newcastle, for example, we played them off the park and we looked by far the better side, the better players that played the better football. But then Newcastle finished way above Villa, winning games against like some of the big teams. So I guess, yeah, football doesn't always work out like that. And maybe that just shows that a team like Newcastle is better at, say, grinding out results or getting shock victories, as opposed to someone like Villa who probably play a bit more expansively, but don't have the end product or the nous to get themselves around the league. Yeah, so yeah, I think it was meant to be about Leeds, but we ended up talking about Villa, didn't we? But is what it is. So yeah, a Liverpool fan asked me, how are Liverpool so good? And how are Liverpool so good? Um, you know what? Man United, if you want to look at a way to run your club and your transfers, look no further than Liverpool, because they have spent wisely. So by that I mean they've gone big when they needed to, and they have sold um like appropriately also, and reinvested the money. So let's look at you, like for example, the Coutinho sale, big money come in, but you've invested it wisely. And yeah, their scouting is just mad, because obviously you've bought Mane, you've bought Salah. Both of them, man, cost less than 70 million. And look how much they're individually worth now. You got Andy Robertson coming from Hull, like less than 10 million. Bargain. I just thought, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's just wow run club, that is. Addressed areas. So it's like, even when you were doing well, but like Carrius fucked up in the final, Mignolet shit, you've addressed it, right? We need a goalkeeper. Boom. Allison, pay the P's. 70 odd million, whatever it is. Buy him. His centre backs are dead. What do? We go break the bank for Van Dijk. And yeah, it's just addressing your issues and not being afraid to then fucking sign the checkbook and pay the money. Whereas, like, for example, if you compare it to Arsenal, you know their weaknesses. So the holding midfielder they needed for ages, the centre back they've needed for ages. They're not addressing the issues. So Partey, they've been rumoured with him all transfer window. It's like I watch AFTV with Robbie, and yeah, I feel sorry for the guy, because I've been watching him for a month now, talking about the possibility of signing Partey, and it's not like it's clear. Wow, it's clearly not happening, or they're just taking the piss. He's got a release clause of 45 million. They can just pay the money and be done with it. So yeah, that's first. That's why Liverpool. Second of all, why Liverpool so good? 2 words: Mo Salah. Mo Salah. He is just he's a killer. Yeah, he's just, people talk about Salah or Mane, and for me, Salah is he's that selfish dickhead that every top team needs. Like, you need guys like him. He's just got killer mentality. He's just, when he's in and around the goal, he's got one thought, and he's got quality with it. So yeah, Mo Salah. I mean, yeah, Sadio Mane as well, and um, Trent. You got in the midfield. Thiago's in there now. So how are Liverpool so good? Yeah, just well run club and top quality players coming good. Yeah, that's the easy answers to that. Yeah, so for now I'm gonna leave it at that. There is a few more questions, but I'll probably put out another poll another time I feel like doing one of these videos. But yeah, again, always, man, just respect to everyone that's watching. If you've made it this far into the video, fair play, because what you've just watched, 33 minutes of me just rambling about football. But yeah, I guess you must not have much else to do. Lockdown soon comes, so do you know what I mean? I'm giving you a bit of content. You can just watch this whilst you're driving, listen whilst you just, do you know what I mean, chilling with your girl, or cooking, or what else could you be doing whilst you're working from home? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just giving you some entertainment, and it's all free from just out of the kindness of my heart. But yeah, and if you haven't already, just subscribe, man, and turn on the post notifications so that you know when I get the videos. I ain't gotta like fucking share it about. Do you know what I mean? It's easier for you, easier for me. But yeah, right, I'm going now.